Weird facts you don't know. In the Tasmanian devil mating season, the male has to beat the female into submission if he wants to mate. If the male is too weak, the female proceeds to beat up the male. Crows not only hold grudges, they tell their friends and family about them. A man named Jeff Ritz went to Disneyland every day for over 8 years. 2,995 consecutive days, and only stopped because of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to science, laziness can be a sign of high intelligence. 15 minutes of shivering from cold can be the metabolic temperature's equivalent of 1 hour of exercise. In 2010, a man in England was arrested for recording his neighbor's noisy dogs and replaying the noise at full volume over the neighbor's fence. In ancient Greece, small penises were celebrated and seen as a sign of high intelligence, and men with large penises were seen as grotesque, laughable, and barbaric. In 1998, school teachers in Siberia, Russia were all paid in vodka instead of money because authorities could not afford to pay their wages bill. Not only can a woman get pregnant while already pregnant, but she can have the babies of 2 different men at once. In 1989, billionaire Richard Branson released a hot air balloon shaped like a UFO and hired a man dressed as E.T. to scare people when it landed. People initially used bread to erase pencil marks, but in 1770, Edward Nain accidentally picked up a rubber piece instead of bread and found it very effective, prompting him to sell rubber erasers. Did you know there's a tree strap to help you poop in nature hands-free called the crap strap? A man in China realized that the object he'd been using for 25 years to crack walnuts was actually a live hand grenade. Milk taken from cows at night makes you sleepier than milk taken during the day. Hats were a common wedding gift amongst Vikings due to their association with the goddess of luck. There's a sport called extreme ironing where people go to random places and iron their clothes. The Romans substituted criminals into plays as punishment, so if a character died in the story of the play, then a real criminal would die on stage. The green falling code in the Matrix is just loads of sushi recipes. Research has found that dogs really like the silly high-pitched voice their owners use to talk to them. In 1971, this thief broke into a house and was shot in the legs by a trap set up by the homeowner. The thief then sued for damages and won. Coffee was so important in Turkish culture that under 15th century law, a woman had the freedom to divorce her husband if he did not provide her with enough coffee. Benjamin Franklin wrote a letter in which he advised taking older women as lovers since they are both experienced and grateful. During the rainy season, the water in Bolivia's Uni-Salt Flat turned into a mirror that stretches on for miles. It has even been called the border between heaven and earth. In 2020, the Vatican censored a video of Pope Francis saying Scotch whiskey is the real holy water. Google and Yahoo have both used goats to mow the grass at their corporate headquarters in data centers. Apollo 17 astronaut Harrison Schmitt is allergic to moon dust. A 2014 study found that for high-end luxury brands, authentically snobby and rude sales staff resulted in higher sales. In a 2-player game of Monopoly, there is a 12% chance that the game will go on forever. Tea Cola is a popular soft drink that is made and sold in Ghana. The world record for the longest pee ever is 508 seconds. That's almost 8.5 minutes long. Vegetarians fart more than non-vegetarians due to their diets. In 2020, a Frenchman successfully sued his company for 40,000 euros. You get smarter if you subscribe. Disturbing food facts. Figs aren't fruits, they're flowers, and many figs have at least one dead wasp trapped inside them. Red food dye is often made out of crushed beetles. French fries have enough additives in them to preserve the fries for almost 3 years. These additives are added to decrease the growth of mold and bacteria. FDA regulations allow the inclusion of 35 fruit fly eggs and 10 insects per 8 ounces of raisin. The FDA allows a jar jar of peanut butter to contain one or more rodent hairs before it turns into a health hazard. If you have eaten shrimp, chances are you have eaten poop from a plethora of animals, as fecal matter is the primary diet of shrimp. For every glass of water you drink, there's nearly a 100% chance that a portion of it has been peed out by a dinosaur. Did you know there are about 180 billion human remains scattered throughout the earth? Hello, and here's some gross facts. Air hand dryers blow bacteria from the bathroom air back onto your hands. The top 15 biggest cargo ships create more air pollution than all the cars in the world combined. The medical definition for a fart is flatus expelled through the anus. Steve Jobs would soak his feet in toilet water to relieve stress. The germs in your poo can pass through up to 10 pieces of toilet paper, so please wash your hands. Most high-end perfumes contain whale vomit. 48% of sodas at fast food places contain bacteria from fecal matter. Most women shit themselves while giving vaginal birth, and it's theorized that this gives the babies an evolutionary advantage. Did you know 75% of all shopping carts contain poop particles on the handles? Hot dogs can contain hair, skin, nails, and any type of meat you can think of inside them. A study in 2013 by the Daily Mail found that fast food restaurant ice may be dirtier than toilet water. The Romans used crushed mouse brains as toothpaste in their times. You transfer more germs by shaking hands than you do by kissing someone. Fresh pee is cleaner than the saliva in your mouth somehow. Subway's sandwich bread contains one of the same chemicals found in yoga mats. Chocolate bars have around 8 insect legs inside each of them. If you regularly eat at fast food places, then you'll consume about 12 pubic hairs per year. A decapitated cockroach can live up to a week without its head. Did you know you swallow about 1.5 pints of snot each and every day? When a fly lands on your food, it vomits a mix of saliva, enzymes, and poop. You have more risk of getting sick from kissing a human than you do from kissing a dog. Some of the water you drink has already been drank by someone else, maybe multiple times over. The human body produces 26 gallons of sweat in bed every single year. When you put on headphones, you block out the natural air, which increases bacteria production by 700%. You fart on average 14 times per day, and each fart travels at 7 miles per hour. Your body odor comes from bacteria eating your sweat particles. You will produce enough saliva in your lifetime to fill 2 swimming pools. If someone gets a new kidney, they often just leave the old one in there as well. Did you know you can die from Alzheimer's due to the brain forgetting how to swallow or even breathe? Hello, and here's some creepy facts. After this video, someone is probably going to take their last breath. Your brain is constantly rewriting and editing your memories, so you might remember something different than it actually happened. Over 250,000 people are killed every year due to medical mistakes. The dust under your bed is just your own dead skin particles. The movie Poltergeist that came out in 1982 featured real corpses used in the film. Pros can recognize and remember human faces. There is a surgery called tooth in the eye where surgeons put a tooth in a blind person's eye to restore their vision, and yes, this actually works. Climate change is making spiders bigger because of it. Ducklings often engage in cannibalistic behaviors when they're bored. When you die, the last sense to leave your body is the ability to hear. Did you know 30% of people witness things in their hallway when it's pitch black? Hello, and here's some scary facts. Known as the Troxler effect, your brain alters your face when you stare into a mirror for a period of time. If you smell burnt toast and there's nothing actually burning, you're most likely having a stroke. There is a chemical called MPTP that specifically destroys dopaminergic neurons in your brain. A human corpse decomposes 4 times faster in water than in the ground. When it comes to heart disease, the very first symptom in roughly 1/3 of all cases is sudden death, meaning you could be perfectly healthy and drop dead because you had heart disease and you didn't know it. If you get a roach infestation bad enough, they will eat your skin while you sleep and will also try to crawl into your ears. Only 6 people have survived rabies. Rabies has a 99% mortality rate. You can have rabies for an entire year without symptoms, and once you have symptoms, it's already too late. You'll probably die in a couple of days if you have symptoms. Did you know it's illegal to wear a Winnie the Pooh shirt in Poland? Hello, and here's some of the worst worst rules in countries. For some reason, it's illegal to chew gum in Singapore. It was illegal to dance in the dark after midnight in Japan until 2015. You can't legally name your pig Napoleon in France. In Switzerland, you can't flush your toilet after 10 p.m. without breaking a law. Telling a man he has no balls is not allowed in Italy. It's illegal to sing off-key in the American state of North Carolina. You can't climb trees in Oshawa, Canada. Chickens are forbidden from crossing roads in Quitman, Georgia, USA. Dying in the United Kingdom's House of Parliament is also prohibited by law. Craziest addictions you won't believe. This is Josh, a 27-year-old man from Wooster, Ohio, whom is actually addicted to eating glass. I didn't even know this was possible without involving a visit to the emergency room or just death from internal bleeding. However, he admitted to cutting his lips many times and has shards of glass lodged in his gums. This is Luis Quarizzi, a 42-year-old man from Brazil who is addicted to attending funerals. Yep, it's pretty much what it sounds like. He attends every funeral he can possibly get to. Luis has attended every single funeral in his hometown for the last 20 years, and even quit his job in order to pursue this passion, claiming if he doesn't attend a funeral for over a week, then he feels extremely sick. This is Julia Kaplis. She's a 45-year-old woman from Pennsylvania who has been drinking human blood for the past 30 years. She even asked her friend if she could drink blood from her arms. Since draining that much blood every day could be problematic, she chases the blood with some pig plasma. But no one knows how this addiction started. This is Patricia Krenzel, and on her 14th birthday, she received a session in a tanning salon as her present. Afterwards, she kept returning to the same salon every single day over the summer for a tanning. Her tanning addiction went so bad that she sadly developed skin cancer at age 24. Now, if you don't want to end up like these three, then subscribe. Craziest looking things under a microscope. Number 1 is vitamin C crystals. This is what it looks like when vitamin C is crystallized under a microscope, and it can also take on a lot of different variations of this that can look completely different. Next is a solar panel. Now, this is a close-up of the actual solar cell, and it looks absolutely crazy. Next is the human brain's wiring. This is like bird's eye view of the nerve fibers in a healthy human brain, and it's quite cool. Next is the reproductive parts of a plant. This is called a thale crest flower, and it shows the male and female reproductive parts of the flower. Next is a real kidney stone, and this is a kidney stone that has actually been removed from a human and put under a microscope. Next up is a bat. This is an X-ray projection of a brown long-eared bat that was hunted and killed by a domestic cat.